Hi, I'm Steve Cohen, and welcome to this week's Open to the Public. First stop, 47th Street, Miami Heart Institute. We're going to talk with former Commissioner Elaine Weisberg about what's happening with the Miami Heart Institute and the residents in that area. You may remember a year and a half ago, a lot of controversy in that area. It seems to have been resolved. We'll find out how it got resolved and what's happening up on the 47th Street area. Second stop, you may have seen them driving around Miami Beach, the Miami Beach Police Bike Squad. We'll talk with Sergeant Kelly Reed, find out what the bike squad does, special training, special equipment, everything you wanted to know about the Miami Beach Police Bike Squad we'll have for you here on Open to the Public. Finally, we'll end up back here at the Palace Bar and Grill. Don McGinley from the Ocean Drive Association. We'll talk with Don about the recent controversy with the city, about the different associations, and what's new and exciting on Ocean Drive. Also, stay tuned, a segment with Kevin Grossman and myself, our General Manager at Gold Coast Cable, about what's new at Gold Coast Cable. All of that on this week's Open to the Public. We'll be right back.
It's Great Expectations Unisex Salon for creative hairstyling, coloring, perms, manicures, and a tanning room. They made me look good for years. In the Omni Mall, open 7 days. Call 358-0353. Wigs and Things, also in the Omni, has a full line of natural and synthetic wigs and ornaments. They feature Revlon wigs and hair add-on with a full line of beauty supplies at discount prices. Call 373-1435. 373-1435.
Where can you find a touch of the Riviera, a dash of Milan, and a kiss of the tropics? La Voile Rouge, an oasis of European style, footsteps away from the excitement of South Beach. Arrive by yacht and we'll send an escort, or simply step off Ocean Drive. Dine at poolside or in elegant surroundings. After dinner, it's brandy at Cigar La Voile. La Voile Rouge, the only luxury European hotel directly on the ocean in South Beach.
Sure, Friendly Honda has great prices on new 96 Hondas. And yes, Friendly Honda lives up to its name. But Friendly Honda also has something that no other dealer in the world has, a cat named Senior. And it's Senior's job to make sure everything at Friendly Honda runs smoothly, from sales to leases to service. Senior even watches over the big guys. So when you stop by Friendly Honda, go straight to the top. Ask for Senior. And for the best price, shop Friendly Honda last.
You're injured in an accident. You could be out of work and run up some pretty expensive medical bills. At Cohen & Cohen, we're dedicated to serving your legal needs with competence, professionalism, and personal attention. If you're injured in any type of accident, one simple phone call to Cohen & Cohen can help answer questions regarding your legal rights. Call the attorneys at Cohen & Cohen now at 1-800-33-COHEN. That's 1-800-33-COHEN.
Well, the last time we spoke with Elaine Weisberg, we had a little controversy behind us. Miami Heart Institute over on 47th. Things are a lot better, aren't they?
Yes, they certainly are, and we're very pleased. It took us approximately 6 months of negotiations with the hospital for a bunch of restrictive covenants. The first one was that we stopped them from putting 3 more stories on top of their parking garage, which would have given them an 8-story parking garage that we don't even have anywhere in the city.
Well, let's take it down to Ocean Drive or Collins Avenue or something. Right, we could use it there.
I agree. In addition to that, they listened to us about removing all of the apartments that they had. Rather than taking 2 of the apartment buildings as they wanted to originally, to put administrative services in there, which would have emptied out the hospital of additional space that they were desperately in need of. We convinced them that was not the way to do it.
But they did tear down the buildings, and you people at home will notice those buildings right before you get to the causeway on Alton Road.
Right.
Correct?
Well, the over the bridge here is
What
where
is it,
Fisher
50
Park.
right,
Right.
51st
You will
Road.
notice an open space that the people on the waterway, the people that live on the land side, will never see cars in there, even though it is a parking lot, because they promised to put in a wonderful burn of trees and flowers. And they have enhanced the community. They've tried to take care of the parking situation right in front of their hospital. The city is working in cooperation with them. They gave the city almost $100,000 to put those gorgeous palm trees that we have by Mount Sinai. They're going to start here at 47th Street and go over the bridge to where Fisher Park is. And they're really trying to be good neighbors at this point.
Now let's talk about good neighbors right behind us. These homes that are redone right behind us, from what I understood, the hospital owned them. They were going to tear them down, make them into a parking lot, and now what? They sold them to Dacre Development.
Yes.
Our friend Scott and Craig Robbins, and the Robbins and Dacre has refurbished and reconstructed the homes.
They've done a beautiful job. They've made some lovely changes within those homes behind me. We're very fortunate that Dacre came in and bought them up because it saved this neighborhood. It saved the community. We were able to achieve a wonderful balance here between the hospital and the community by having these homes here. They act as a buffer so that the hospital is in their own milieu and we're in ours as far as the neighborhood is concerned. Dacre has to be thanked tremendously for having the foresight and the vision to see that this could be a wonderful endeavor for building a new community. We have a lot of new young families that have moved in. I'm very pleased that they're selling these properties. They're not all sold yet. There are still some that have to be, and I'd love to see people come here, young families in particular with children. I mean, we brought our children up here in this neighborhood, and now they're living here with their children. So it's a revival of what we want to see happen on Miami Beach, and that is to have good housing stock, to have good young people and people who contribute and are productive to this community. And I think the Heart Institute will be productive to this
What was the
community.
big turnaround on the Heart Institute? I mean, last time we spoke, and believe me, as being someone who was observing this, both of you, the Heart Institute and the homeowners, made valid points. What turned the Heart Institute around where they are now looked upon in this community as wonderful neighbors? What turned them around?
Well, I think the Middle Beach Community Association, as their president, my membership made it very clear to the city elected officials as well as to the hospital officials that under no circumstances were we going to permit a hospital to destroy our community. We would live in harmony with them, we would work in harmony with them, but at the type of harmony we required. As a resident of a community that is thriving and beautiful. And I think that was the turnaround. I think the hospital recognized that this was not the hospital for them to expand where it would encroach into the residential community and be a sore mark on the community. I think they would rather work with us. They would rather be what we want that hospital to be, and that is a wonderful service for this community. But I have to tell you that this first is a neighborhood, a residential neighborhood that is going to survive, that is surviving and doing well.
Well, that's one thing terrific about Miami Beach. It seems we are made up of different businesses, we're a bedroom community on one end, yet we're a tourist-based service community on the other end.
Right.
And this is really a happy story here of where Miami Heart Institute and the parent company, which is a large company, comes in. The residents of the area feel that they're encroached upon. The residents, through your guidance, say, okay, we want some changes, and it happens.
Absolutely.
There are a wish list that you still have of anything that you would like to see changed concerning the hospital in this residential area?
Well, one of the wish list things is the reality. The city is working with us. These palm trees that you see outside of all of these homes was part of a landscaping. We got over $250,000 out of our city to produce these kinds of landscaping for us so that we would show the community we're alive, we're well, and those are the tax dollars that we put into the coffers that we're getting back. And so I think between the city and the hospital and the homeowners and our association, we have a wonderful meld of communicating and working for one another and with one another.
Well, everything's happy in the Middle Beach at this
Right
point. Thank you, Elaine
But let me
Weisberg.
tell you something. There's another issue that's coming up that you people have got to get into.
We will,
and that's our regional library issue.
We will, and we're going to try to get someone from both ends of that story
Okay.
to cover that issue.
Thank you.
That's why we're open to the public.
Good.
Thank you, Elaine
Thank you. It's
Weisberg.
nice being here.
Middle Beach
Community
Association.
MBCA.
For over 80 years, we have served the public and other fine jewelers. I'm Scott King of Martin King Jewelers. Come to our wholesale showroom to see one of the largest and most beautiful collections. Diamond solitaires of all shapes and sizes, emerald, rubies, sapphires, and imported fine gold jewelry, all at wholesale prices. We are distributors of Audemars Piguet and Bertolucci watches, manufactured since 1912. Fabulous jewelry, fabulous prices. That's Martin King's, 1074 Kane Concourse, Bay Harbor.
In the mood for hot pastrami, come to Wolfie's. Scrambled eggs with salami, come to Wolfie's. Better blintzes than your mommy's, come to Wolfie's. Come to Wolfie's Gourmet Deli Restaurant. In the mood for cherry cheesecake, come to Wolfie's. Chicken soup like Mama makes, come to Wolfie's. Challah bread like Bubba bakes, come to Wolfie's. Come to Wolfie's Gourmet Deli Restaurant. Hey!
Where can you find a touch of the Riviera, a dash of Milan, and a kiss of the tropics? La Voile Rouge, an oasis of European style, footsteps away from the excitement of South Beach. Arrive by yacht and we'll send an escort, or simply step off Ocean Drive. Dine at poolside or in elegant surroundings. After dinner, it's brandy at Cigar La Voile. La Voile Rouge, the only luxury European hotel directly on the ocean in South Beach.
Sure, Friendly Honda has great prices on new 96 Hondas. And yes, Friendly Honda lives up to its name. But Friendly Honda also has something that no other dealer in the world has. A cat named Senior. And it's Senior's job to make sure everything at Friendly Honda runs smoothly. From sales, to leases, to service. Senior even watches over the big guys. So when you stop by Friendly Honda, go straight to the top. Ask for Senior. And for the best price, shop Friendly Honda last.
Sitting here in Ocean Drive, Sergeant Kelly Reed, Miami Beach Police Department, Bike Squad. No, not like Leslie Nielsen, right? This is the Bike Squad. You've been in existence for what, over 10 years? And up until recently, I never really noticed police officers and bicycles on Miami Beach.
Yes, we have over 20 officers on bikes from day shift from 7 in the morning all the way until 5 o'clock in the morning on different avenues on our beach, South Beach and North Beach, and they're very effective.
Yeah, now, what advantages does a police officer have on a bicycle as opposed to being on foot or being in a patrol car or on a motorcycle?
Well, first of all, in the certain areas where there's a high concentration of traffic, like Ocean Drive on the weekends when there's a lot of cruising going on, it's almost impossible to get a patrol car into the club area, the Ocean Drive area. So right there they have an advantage that they can get through traffic easier. Also, it puts them a little closer to pedestrians, gives them better contact. They can go up into the park, they can come up on the sidewalk. So just mobility-wise, it's a lot better, and it also gives the public greater access to the officers.
I always wonder about the equipment that, and I'm sure you people at home, you know, Bike Squad, police on bicycles. Are these special bicycles or are they just an upscale bicycle that you can buy at a bicycle store?
We usually use a mountain bike style of bicycle because you can jump curbs, you can go through the grass. It's not like a 10-speed racing bike. We don't use any particular brand, you know, just like any government when we requisition equipment. We try to get, you know, at least a middle-of-the-road type bicycle because they take a lot of abuse. We like an aluminum style bicycle with some good gears and components so that, you know, they'll stand up to wear. because these bikes get used, 10 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. It's not like a bike you might have in your garage that you buy and ride once and then it just sits there and stays nice and pretty.
Now, inside the Palace Bar and Grill over here, there's around 10 other officers. You're on a training mission today.
Right.
What happens on a training mission? Do you need to be obviously physically fit? Do you take them through a 2-hour grueling ride up and down the beach? What happens during one of the training missions?
Before we actually assign an officer to the bike patrol, these officers have never been on our bike patrol per se. So they're going through their initial training. It's a 30-hour training. That's 3 days. We spend the first 2 days learning techniques and riding in formation, how to maneuver through traffic, the technical aspects of actually maneuvering the bicycle, and the laws of physics that apply, the weight transfer, and how to brake, how to shift, all those things, how to jump obstacles, how to turn around obstacles. Then on the last day, we go on a 30-mile ride for a distance so we can actually get some experience in the saddle, so to speak. So these officers are undergoing their 3-day preparatory class, and then they'll be eligible to ride a bicycle. We don't allow anyone to ride in the bike patrol without actually having the training first.
Now, what areas, again, for the people at home on the beach that the bike patrol, bike squad is involved in? Down on South Beach, up on the north end of the beach along the ocean, I believe?
Specifically, you'll find our bike squad on Ocean Drive and the South Beach. Ocean Drive goes from 1st Street all the way to 15th Street. You'll see them there, daytime and in the evening. Also on Collins Avenue in our Oceanfront District, which is from 16th Street to 23rd Street on Collins. And then on Washington Avenue from 5th Street to about Lincoln Road, you'll see our Washington Avenue district officers. And most of these bicycle officers are funded by the individual special taxing districts, Ocean Drive, Collins, and Washington Avenue. So it really, that's helped out a lot because we've been able to subsidize our police department with a lot of extra officers, and it's been very effective. It's worked very well.
I'm curious as to why you chose to become a member of the bike squad. I mean, police, you go to the academy, you're used to being in the car, you're used to being taught what's taught to you as far as police enforcement from the academy. Now you take it and you're on a bicycle. Why do you choose to do it?
Well, it's a great detail. Before I got promoted about 7 or 8 years ago, I had the bicycle detail as an officer on Lincoln Road. And I liked it because I'm a people person, and it gave me the opportunity to interact with more people. And I just really like that. And now I'm a supervisor here, and I think it's great. And I have a lot of great guys that work for me, and everyone seems to really love us out there, and we love to be loved. So.
Sergeant Kelly Reed, Miami Beach Bike Squad, Miami Beach Police Bike Squad, thanks for being with us. And you people at home, if you see a police officer on a bicycle, they love to be loved. They love to talk to them. Let them know that you enjoy the job they're doing, and that's why they're there. Thanks, Kelly.
You're welcome.
Gold Coast Cablevision, the people that bring you open to the public, our general manager, Kevin Grossman. During the past 3 years, people have been telling me, Gold Coast Cable, Gold Coast Cable. Not only is it probably the best cable system in South Florida, but we realize everyone thinks we're on Ocean Drive every weekend, but we're not. Don McGinley, District Manager, Ocean Drive Association. We haven't been with you in a while. Last time was at Powwow, I believe.
It was in Powwow, but I keep seeing you here every weekend, so you're with us whether you think you are or not. We know that.
Okay, it's a subliminal message. That's a tough word for me to get out there also. Ocean Drive, a lot of things going on, the city, everything else. Let's re-educate the people at home on what the Ocean Drive Association is about and what you do.
The Ocean Drive Association was specifically set up to create the cleanest, safest environment that any visitor could find in South Florida. And we think to a certain extent we've accomplished that. If you check for graffiti in South Florida and check on Ocean Drive, one where we're setting a standard and the city is, I think, uncomfortable with the standard that we're setting. And we challenge them to meet our standards, and instead what they've suggested is that we go...
Your schedule?
Well, what we have suggested is that if the Ocean Drive Association merges with the Oceanfront Hotel Association, which is up on Collins just to our north, and we consolidated some